Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to our Rights Respecting Schools Assembly for January. This month, our Rights Respecting Schools Assembly is all about Holocaust Memorial Day. Holocaust Memorial Day takes place on the 27th of January every year. The Holocaust was a terrible event in history that took place during World War II, where Nazis persecuted and killed over 11 million people they didn't think were good enough. Primary 7 have been learning more about this, and they have made a short video for you all to watch that explains a little bit more about the Holocaust. So please listen carefully and hear what the Primary 7s are teaching you.
Hi, I'm Erin.
Hi, I'm Olivia.
Hi, I'm Ava.
Hi, I'm Cole.
Hi, I'm Daniel.
Hi, I'm Abby. The Holocaust was a period in history at the time of World War II when millions of Jews were murdered because of who they were. The killings were organised by Germany's Nazi Party led by Adolf Hitler. Jews were the main target of the Nazis and the greatest number of victims were Jewish.
Between 1933 and 1945, Germany and its allies established more than 44,000 camps where they treated them badly by not feeding them and not taking care of them properly. The perpetrators used the camps for forced labour, imprisonment of people thought to be enemies of the state, and mass murder.
Adolf Hitler is one of the most well-known and evil figures of history. As a leader of Germany, he started both World War II and the Holocaust events that led to the deaths of at least 40 million people.
On November the 7th, in 1938, a Polish Jewish boy, at the age of 17 years old, fired 5 shots at a German soldier. Days later, the soldier von Rath was found dead, and on the streets of Germany were furious, just because of that one boy that caused the deaths of 40 million people, including elders, children, and even babies.
Anne Frank was a German girl who in the Holocaust hid from the Germans and kept a diary of her experiences. Anne and her family went into hiding for 2 years. Her diary got found and was published and called The Diary of a Young Girl. Sadly, she was found and put in a concentration camp and died soon after.
They would take the useful ones to help the soldiers do jobs for them, and the unuseful ones they sadly killed them in horrible ways, like telling them they were going for showers and locked the door, but instead of water they used gas which killed them. They also slowly died by starvation too, and with the babies they drowned them. That was 3,000 newborn babies.
This is the Star of David. German Nazis would make the Jews wear this star to represent the fact that they were Jewish. If you were found not wearing your star, you were sentenced to death.
This is a picture of Anne Frank's diary.
Here are some more photos.
As the Primary 7s have explained, Holocaust Memorial Day takes place on the 27th of January every year. And the reason this date was chosen is because it was the date that Auschwitz-Birkenau, which was the largest Nazi concentration camp, was liberated. It was freed by the soldiers from the Allied forces. On this day, all around the world, we remember and we learn about the 6 million Jewish people who were killed during the Holocaust, alongside millions of other people who were killed under Nazi persecution. We also learn about the genocides that followed in Cambodia, Rwanda, Bosnia and Darfur. Holocaust Memorial Day is for everyone, and each year across the UK, thousands of people come together to learn more about the past and take action to create a safer future. The theme this year is One Day, and that's with the hope that one day in the future there may be no genocide. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child is designed to help protect you from things like this ever happening in the future. The articles that are linked to Holocaust Memorial Day are Article 2, No Discrimination, Article 19, Protection from Violence, Article 37, Children in Detention, and Article 38, Protection from War. These articles link in so many ways because Article 2 is about no discrimination. And that means no matter who you are, no matter what religion, no matter whether you have a different race, you have a different ability, you have any differences, every child, every single child under the age of 18 has the same rights. Article 19 is about protection from violence, abuse, and neglect. And that means the adults around you and the adults in charge of your country have a duty to protect you from any form of violence, abuse, or neglect. Article 37 is about children in detention, which means that no child should be tortured or imprisoned unfairly or treated in a cruel way. And again, this is the adults around you and the adults in charge of your country who have that duty to make sure that you are protected. And Article 38 is all about protection from war. And that means that no child under 15 should join the army and children should be protected during times of war. And again, this is the adults around you and the adults in charge of your country who have a duty to make sure that this right is upheld. In the UK, we have very strong rules and very strong laws about these and the protection of all children from violence or imprisonment or war is very clear throughout not just this convention, but also all of our laws. What I'd like you to do just now, boys and girls, is I'd like you to pause this video and spend just a minute or two in your class discussing this one question. Why do we remember the Holocaust every year? Have a few minutes with your class to come up with as many answers as you can. How many of these answers did you get? I'm sure you had lots of answers, but here are some examples. That the awful events around the Second World War must be remembered, and we have a duty to make sure that future generations don't forget. There are very few survivors that are still alive, and those that are alive are very old, and the truth of what happened to them should be kept alive beyond their lifetime. And if we don't learn the lessons from history, we won't be better in the future. It helps people to learn and to remember. The lessons of the Holocaust help lead to a world which human rights are valued. And if we really learn from the past, there is hope for this better future. It is also a chance to honour people who lost their lives in the Holocaust and in genocides around the world, and to remind ourselves to speak up and act when we see people being treated unfairly. The main reason that these events happened was that many people were too scared to stand up and fight for what they knew to be right. It's important to remember about other non-Jewish groups as well who were persecuted during the war. These include other European and non-European natives, Romani people, people with disabilities, LGBT people, political prisoners, and people from other faiths. Other terrible events have happened since in Cambodia, Rwanda, Bosnia and Darfur, and these are included in Holocaust Memorial Day. The theme for Holocaust Memorial Day in 2022 is one day. What I'd like you to do after this assembly is over is I'd like you to find somewhere you can think. You could perhaps do this as a class activity, or you might want to do it on your own. I want you to think about your wish for the future, your one day. What do you want to be one day, and how are you going to get there? I want you to think about what you want for children all around the world, some of whom are not as fortunate as us. So your one day, all children will. And how are you going to do things? What are you going to fight for to help make sure that all of the children around the world have your wish? I want you to sit and I want you to think about this one day. We have one day to remember Holocaust Memorial Day. We can think about the one day in history, the 27th of January when Auschwitz was liberated. And we can dream about that one day in the future where the world is a better place because of the children like you who have learned lessons from the mistakes of the past and who have designed a better future. Thank you so much for listening to the assembly today, boys and girls, and I really do hope that you have managed to take something away from it, whether it is you've learned something new or whether it is your idea for that one day in the future and how you're going to get there. I'm going to leave you now with a song, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. This song is a chance for you to think about what our future could be like. Thank you so much, boys and girls, and remember, be the best that you can be.
The dreams that you dare to, why